it's 6:30. I'd like to call to order the Charter Township of Oxford Board of Trustees regular meeting, Wednesday, September 14th, 2022. Would we all please rise and pay respects to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Noting of the roll.
Noted. There is a quorum.
Approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Go ahead. Okay, I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Knoll. Any questions? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none. Item 5, approval of the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Payne. Are there any questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Colvin.
Yes.
Trustee Payne.
Yes.
Trustee Knoll.
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Supervisor Curtis.
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes, and Trustee Charles.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item
Yes.
number 6, public comment on items not on the agenda. Are there any members of the public that would like to speak on items that are not on the agenda?
Okay, sure. I just come up here.
Come on up.
I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Emily Bush, and I'm running to be your next state representative for the new House District 66. But I do have a question. It's in relation to the announcement today. Am I allowed to ask about the McLaren thing?
You can ask a question that will be answered during the Board of Trustees comments. We can't.
No, it's like a school board meeting. Okay. So my question is, how will the announcement of the McLaren ambulatory facility impact the plans still in motion for the Beaumont Hospital across the street? That's it.
Address that in trustee comments.
That's it. Hello, hello, hello. Coffee.
Thank
Okay.
you, Emily. Any other members of the public that want to make a comment? Seeing none, we'll move on. Item 7, Fire Department.
Evening, Board. We had gone out for bid for the work on the Station 3 property. The proposals came back in, and my questioning is, the money was approved and everything was, for the project through the ARPA money and everything like that. What do we need to do for the next step to go ahead and award the contract to work? Or can I do that for the fire department?
Is that on the piece of property?
Yes.
I signed the soil erosion permit, I signed the grading permit, and I signed the, I think it was the land balancing permit just Monday or Tuesday. So you're to bid those out?
The work has been bid,
Okay,
and the bids are in.
okay.
And we have a low bidder on the entire project, so that's what I'd say. My next step is, am I allowed to just go ahead to now meet with them and make sure that we're all under the thing? Talk to Engineer Sharp, and he's gone through the tabulations and everything and followed through and everything to make sure everything is what he was in the specifications. So that's the next thing, is the process of awarding the contract.
I'd look to some of the senior board members, the fire, go ahead, Clerk Wright.
Yeah, we don't know what the bid come in at, number one.
Okay.
And number two, we allocated $200,000 of ARPA money for the fire project, and then a remainder for the up and above what the radios cost.
Correct.
So you're looking at roughly about $210,000 available from ARPA monies. So,
I guess my question would be, is what did the bid come back?
I think the board's got to award the bid.
we'll,
I've got it already.
What's that?
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like 160.
Nobody even knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, 164. The low bidder was Sarah Dan Construction at 164.
So the question really is, because the monies have already been kind of allocated for the fire department and it's coming out of their budget, do they still need the approval here of this board in order to do
Board
that?
still needs to approve spending the money.
Secondly, what happens is.
Trustee Payne?
Bring those bids to the board, we'd look at them and give you the blessing, and on you go. But the board doesn't need to approve it.
The only thing that I've got, or concern that I've got, is we've got it now. Now that means then, because we just got it, the bids were due last Friday, we just got it through process, so it wasn't time to get it on the agenda packet, get the whole process. Otherwise, now I wait till the middle of October to award the work, whereas they could start the work probably rather soon.
Trustee Noel?
I think there's a committee, and we just haven't had a chance to review all that, if memory serves me correctly. I would suggest that the committee review it and take appropriate action from all the bids.
We can certainly come back in October. We were just questioning whether or
Trying to
not.
speed
it had
things
been
up or do it.
Exactly. And what I heard was, we are still spending the township money, so the township board has to approve it.
Okay.
So the bid specs would come back and you show us the lowest bid, and then the bid would be awarded. Recommended through you or the ARPA fund. Clerk Wright, you had a question?
I just wondering, is this the phase one process of the project?
Land clearing of cutting down the trees and doing the balancing of the property and everything.
Does that include the well?
Clearing, it does not include the well part, at this part of it, no.
Just the groundwork?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Pete, if timing's an issue, my suggestion would be to have our committee meet, have them make a recommendation, and have the fire department, if they so choose, pay for a special board meeting, if October 14th is too late.
Yeah, because it potentially, and I don't want to lose a whole 30 days worth of weather.
Weather.
We'll talk to Sarah Dan too.
Yeah, we'll talk to them.
Yep.
So,
You can always call a special meeting, talk to Supervisor Curtis, pay the fee, and
all right, I'll have we'll convene our committee that is on it and work from there then. So, all right, thank you.
Go ahead.
Trustee Charles.
I was gonna say what Joe said, but I want to repeat it because I think that makes the most sense. If time is as important as what Chief says, let's do that, and we can have a brief meeting and take care of it.
Sound good? Thank you. That's all for the fire department?
Yeah.
You don't want to tell us what's going on this weekend?
The Lions game?
There'll be a fire at the fire hall. We are doing what's called flashover training, starting this weekend at Station 1, classroom portions, and then on Saturday, then we'll be doing burns all day in the burn trailer, which comes out from OCC. It's being paid for by the state fireworks funds, which comes back to the departments for training, so it's all completely paid for. And we've got neighboring departments that will also be attending here, also going to the class. So there'll be some smoke, rising up from the trailer, but it'll be in our quote training area that are behind the fire hall. So, in case anybody asks.
And next week?
Next week, we will be going out to Crossroads on East Drainer to the property that Crestview Homes has purchased on the south side of the road. And we will start using one of the buildings there for RIT training, where we'll actually go in there to teach self-rescue and rescuing others out of a potential collapse building or someone that's trapped inside of the building. And again, that's opened up some other departments that are coming in and training with us on there. And we're meeting with them Friday, and then I've reached out to the Sheriff's Department, and they will be hooking up and probably using the buildings for training coming up here in the next couple weeks too.
I just wanted you to brag. There's a lot of work going on out there, guys. Thank you. Sharp Engineering report.
Nothing beyond what's on the agenda tonight, unless there's any questions for me.
Okay, thank you.
I have a quick question.
Yes, sir, Trustee Charles.
Just a quick update on our favorite bridge.
The Maloney Street Bridge,
Yes, sir.
they've been working on that diligently. They have all of they put their sheet pile in, they got their sheet pile contractor back. Or I should say, they found a different one, I believe. But anyway, all that sheet pile was put in. All the steel for the concrete foundations has been driven into the ground.
We hear it.
And tentatively, they are scheduled to pour their foundations over the next week and a half, with the bridge being scheduled to be installed about the end of this month, like September 26th, 27th, and then another month or 6 weeks to kind of finalize all the paving and get everything back to the way that it was before.
Thank you.
Okay, item 9A, rescission of approved motion for Brab Dewey subdivision sanitary sewer engineering design fees. Clerk Wright?
Yes, at the August 24th, 2022 special board meeting, I made a motion to amend the agenda and add the engineering fees for Brab Dewey to the agenda. After the fact, it was discovered that you cannot add an agenda item to a special meeting agenda if all board members are not present. At our meeting, we did not have all board members present, so in your packet is a motion to rescind that motion, and the following agenda item will be a motion just to repeat what was accomplished on August 24th.
I move to rescind the August 24th, 2022 motion that approved an amount of $125,750 and authorized Sharp Engineering to proceed with engineering design, topographical survey, and easement preparation and negotiations for the Brab Dewey Sanitary Sewer Extension Project. The $125,750 amount to be expensed to account number 590-527-973.002 sewer extensions.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari and a second by Trustee Nold. Are there any questions?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this something I vote on or not vote on, because I wasn't here
Nope,
originally?
still vote.
You can vote now.
You can vote,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
please. Okay, roll call.
Trustee Charles?
Yes.
Clerk Wright? Yes. Supervisor Curtis?
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari?
Yes.
Trustee Nold?
Yes.
Trustee Payne?
Yes.
And Trustee Colvin?
I move to approve an amount of $125,750 and authorize Sharp Engineering to proceed with engineering design, topographical survey, and easement preparation and negotiations for the Brab Dewey Sanitary Sewer Extension Project. The $125,750 amount to be expensed to account number 590-527-973.002 sewer extensions.
Second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari and a second by, was that Trustee Payne?
Trustee Nold.
Trustee Nold. All those in favor, no, this is roll call.
Trustee Payne?
Yes.
Trustee Nold?
Yes.
Trustee Charles?
Yes.
Trustee Colvin?
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari?
Yes.
Clerk Wright? Yes. And Supervisor Curtis?
Yes. Item 9C, American Rescue Plan Act, Committee Allocation of Fund. Clerk Wright?
Yeah, so let's scroll down here to it. The committee met on September 8th, which was last Thursday, and we have our second round of funding in, over $1 million. And one of the proposals that was submitted to us was a request from Parks and Recreation from Parks Director Castoni that is requesting $100,000 to assist in the farmer's market construction on that. So the committee discussed it, and we are recommending that the Township Board approve the $100,000 of monies through the ARPA funds to assist in the construction of that farmer's market. Just before we do that, I want to update the board on some of the other things that's going on with ARPA committee. In your packet, you'll see the monies that we've expended to date. Up there, we've expended $1 million plus the $8,000 in legal fees that we've approved. That leaves a first round of funding of $7,694.03. And then if this $100,000 is approved, these will come out of the second installment of the $1,015,000 plus funds in there. Also, in your packet is some of the items that the ARPA committee is looking to fund with these funds going forward. You'll see the broadband, welcome to Oxford signs, doors to the Oxford Public Library, fire hydrant painting, ventilators for the Oxford Fire Department, spelled wrong, safety path construction, maintenance and repairs, water treatment plant, electric vehicle charging stations. That's pretty much the order that we chose as a priority, but a lot of things have changed since this list was created. Broadband, I'm looking with Addison Township, contacting some people from Spectrum and other avenues to see what the available funding is through particularly grants or just where the service ends in some of those areas. So we're trying to figure that out. And we're working on Welcome to Oxford signs. The doors to the library, we contacted Director Cloutier. Since then, he's responded back that he is looking more for funding contribution for, I want to say, a backup generator, I think. So he's looking to just have a contribution to that. The fire hydrant painting, we are well aware of the situation there. Supervisor Curtis and Chief Schultz is working on that. The ventilators, that came up, it's a $40,000 bill. Safety path construction, repairs and maintenance, we're well aware of what's going on there now with that situation. Water treatment plant is probably a bonded issue going forward, millions of dollars there, so ARPA funds is probably not our best use at this time. And electric vehicle charging stations, that's something that is coming, but there's also talk of a lot of contributions or funding that might be available for that. So I just want to go over those with you, and if there's any more items that the Township Board would like to see on this list, please let us know. And also, I was going to mention in the trustee comments, but with the awarding of the bid for the Fire Station 3, do you want the ARPA committee to meet to recommend, or do you want to just bring this straight to the Township Board for consideration for approval? So that's something to at least consider that. And so we'll back up to the...
I move to allocate $100,000 from American Rescue Plan Act funds to the Oxford Township Parks Recreation for the proposed construction of a farmer's market to be located at Seymour Lake Park.
Second?
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Noel. Are there any questions?
I do.
Yes, sir. Trustee Charles.
So the county's kicking $100,000, right? That's what I read. And it's $300,000 project apparently. And the township's kicking 100 grand, and then Parks and Rec's kicking 100 grand apparently. What's the relationship with the township and the parks as far as funding things like this? Is this where the township should be involved, or is this something that Parks and Rec out of your own budget should handle?
I can answer that. The ARPA funds can be spent on anything in the township, including the Parks and Rec, the library, the roads, the cemeteries, anything the township has in control of, yeah.
Okay. I have another question then too.
Yes, sir, Trustee Charles.
How much is in the fund equity for the Parks and Rec? How much of it, Phil, you want to, if appropriate, sir?
If I remember correctly, at the end of last year, I think we were sitting at about 800,000.
Okay. Any more questions? Seeing none, roll call.
Trustee Noel?
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari?
Yes.
Trustee Payne?
Yes.
Trustee Colvin? Yes. Trustee Charles?
No.
Clerk Wright, yes, and Supervisor Curtis.
Yes. Item 9D, Safety Path Maintenance Services. Treasurer Ferrari?
Board members, we had some anomalies. We're trying to do this project. We kind of want to do over. So I got a motion here prepared. I move that due to no recommendation from the Safety Path Committee and failure to receive the minimum required bids per the Charter Township of Oxford procurement policy, any bids received for the Safety Path maintenance are hereby rejected. The Safety Path Committee is directed to advertise for the Safety Path maintenance requests for proposals in the Oxford Leader, on social media, on the Michigan Intergovernmental Trade Network, MIDN. The Safety Path Committee shall present its recommendation to potentially award the Safety Path maintenance contract at the Charter Township of Oxford Board of Trustees, October 12th, 2022 regular meeting.
Second?
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Nold. Any questions?
I have a question. I'm sorry, I must have missed something there. You're saying you're going to rebid this?
Yeah, we're going to regroup.
Yes, we're going to regroup.
But now everybody knows the other one's hand.
Correct. And then they can bid accordingly.
Okay. Gotcha.
Any other questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Treasurer Ferrari?
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. Trustee Payne?
No.
Trustee Colvin?
Yes.
Trustee Noel?
Yes.
Supervisor Curtis?
Yes.
And Trustee Charles?
Yes.
Item 9E, Investment Policy and Resolution Amendment.
Board members, this was on our agenda a couple months ago, and we took it off to get a couple things taken care of. The investment policy, we'd like to kind of add a couple different items to it to give us some more availability of things to invest in. Attached is the whole packet of our amended suggested policy. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer. I'll make a motion that the Oxford Township Board of Trustees amend its Township Investment Policy and Township Depositories Resolution effective September 15th, 2022. Authorize Treasurer Joseph G. Ferrari to address any follow-up implementation.
Second that.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Nold. Questions? Clerk Wright?
Yeah, I just wondered, do you sign this, Treasurer Ferrari, or does Supervisor Curtis?
I send that to all the different banks and that, get them to sign off.
But the policy itself?
Yep.
Yep, what?
Yes, I send it to them. I've got to keep copies of all that.
A question too.
Okay.
Trustee Charles?
So you're adding a couple banks on here too, I noticed, is that
Correct.
right? And then you added, or maybe I didn't see it on there before, you're also adding a, looks like a money market mutual fund?
Yep, through the Michigan class.
Okay, that's not a bank, just, you know.
Correct.
Any more questions? Roll call?
Trustee Charles?
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. Supervisor Curtis?
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari?
Yes.
Trustee Nold?
Yes.
Trustee Payne?
Yes.
And Trustee Colvin?
Item 10A, Oxford Community Television. Terry Stiles?
Hi, everybody. So I really don't need to introduce myself. You just did that, but I am the station manager at OCTV. A little history of me. I've been there for 24 years this year in one fashion or another. I started out as an intern. I worked as a volunteer. I became a board member and then an employee, not at the same time. So in the 24 years that I've been here, I haven't really seen management keep in touch with the boards who passes on funding to us, the franchise fees. And so as I was putting our budget together for you guys, and it was just an estimated budget, ours really won't be approved until November. So I will redo that budget more accurately, and I'll pass it on to you so you can look at it in November. But as I was doing that, I figured it's probably a good idea for me to go to each community and just reintroduce myself, let you guys know what we're doing, living up to our obligations for those franchise fees. Having said that, I'm going to tell you how Oxford OCTV became Oxford Television. In '86, and I won't be too long, in '86 when Ted Turner created the cable companies, the FCC realized local communities would then lose their opportunity for local information being imparted to the community. So they mandated cable companies to create franchise fees for maintaining the easements within the communities, as well as PEG fees, which are public, educational, and government fees to maintain, if the community decides to have a television station, to maintain the capital for that television station. Other communities that don't have a station have a broadband, hopefully, and hopefully imparts news to their community of import to the community. Having said that, I'm going to read a list, just because I don't want to forget anything, of what we've done and what we do in each community. We're an untapped resource giving local community local access to local news and information, which is critical, especially during pandemic, elections, and other high-stakes community moments. We fulfill the community obligation as a reliable community informational source. We deliver hyper-local programming. We are recorders of our living history, whether it's an event such as a parade or an event such as what we had November 30th. We tried very hard to stay out of the way on the 30th, and we're putting together a documentary for the future as to what happened. We were trying to stay as low-key as possible because we heard the community. We provide transparency in government meetings for your constituents. We record the history of our core community events, such as parades, open houses, cemetery tours, ribbon cuttings, holidays, spectaculars, construction rerouting, and more than 50 other events, meetings per month. We have featured 150 veterans and senior citizens in our program called My Life. That is a archive for our community of the people that will help Jim Latola out in the future when he's putting together scripts for our cemetery tours. Also, the Library of Congress is considering that entire series to put in the Library of Congress because we were able to capture the lives of some World War II veterans. We started it about 10, 12 years ago. All the Vietnam veterans we can get a hold of in our area, as well as Korean and some Desert Storm. If anybody knows anybody that we haven't covered, please let me know. I would be more than happy. We also have covered people of import in the community. We have assisted every single business I can think of in this community in one form or another, whether it's promoting an event that they're having. We've interviewed them when they've opened up. We've done ribbon cuttings for them. We've also assisted nonprofits and churches. We've assisted feeding the homeless in the community. We've assisted getting help at Parks and Recs for the garden that's going on out there. We bring information to shut-ins. One of our biggest views is a program called Tai Chi for seniors. For some reason, they watch that every day. Our exercise programs for shut-ins and seniors seems to be pretty important. Also yoga. I'm almost done, Sue. Sorry. Let's see. My favorite service is helping the kids. We have a kids program. We also have kids tours come through, and they earn communication badges for scouting. Last year alone, we had more than 75 kids come through the television station through the schools. We have a population of more than 26,000 students in Oxford, and at one point or another in their academic career, we've covered them and we've provided video to the parents, whether it's an academic achievement for them, arts achievement, athletic achievement, excuse me. We even provide scholarship videos for athletics as well as academics, and we've even helped a woman argue her PhD. She called us and asked us to videotape that, and she got it, which was really nice. We cannot call the cable companies and find out what the viewership is. They will not give us those numbers. However, we try to judge how many people are watching us based on our YouTube and Facebook numbers per month, which is 8,500, and we now have a platform of 6 different media platforms. So we're looking at maybe 15 to 20,000 views per month of what we're doing. Having said all that, I know that a lot of people are asking about that Oakland County Investment Fund that we have. It's never shown up on our budget as a general fund. It ebbs and flows. As of 2023, it will show up on our budget as a general fund or a fund balance figure. It's not something we're just sitting on. Any questions? That's all.
Any questions for Terry?
Nope, you explained it very well.
Okay, I hope so. Thanks. And I won't go into quite so much detail next year, but I'll be here again next year.
Thank you. Item 10B, East Drainer Road Water Main Project Bid Award. Jim, do you want to give the details on that, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
143.
Not too far.
So in your packets, You guys should have the bid results for the East Drainer Road Water Main Project. This one's been a long time coming. We had several easements that we had to obtain, so we've been dealing with residents and businesses on Drainer Road. This proposed project will connect, basically loop the system from where it currently ends near M24 down to Tullamore. It'll loop our system, providing better water quality, and it'll give some of those developments down there an opportunity to connect into it and expand a little bit. We did receive a total of 7 bids, and the low bidder was Superior Excavating. They've done work in our community before on other projects. You can see the number in front of you, a little over $702,000 to do that work. We're looking for your recommendation to proceed with the project. In talking with the contractor, because of the availability of supplies right now, the project likely won't start until probably January or so. Just the pipe that we're putting in is just hard to come by right now. But they are willing to hold their bid price for, as long as it takes in order to do the work. So we would recommend Superior Excavating.
I move to award the East Drainer Road Water Main Project to Superior Excavating in the base bid amount of $702,689. The $702,689 amount to be expensed to water fund account 591-538-972.000 waterline extensions.
Second.
Oh, boy. I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, and I have a second by Trustee Payne. Are there any questions?
Was Trustee Noel?
I heard them both.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, you can give it all that.
All right.
I think we need a timer here, don't we?
Yeah, it's
Trustee
milliseconds.
Payne's fine.
Any questions? Seeing none, a roll call, please.
Supervisor Curtis.
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. Trustee Noel.
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Trustee Colvin.
Yes.
Trustee Payne.
Yes.
And Trustee Charles.
Yes.
Just one note, Jimmy, how long has this been going on?
A couple years, Jack.
Thank you. A new headache will come up soon.
No, not on this job.
Okay,
Bring out
item,
a few back.
pardon
We
me?
can bring out a few back.
Yeah, we could. 10C, sanitary sewer connection fee increase. Board members, Paul Stoddard, Managing Director of the PFM Financial Advisors, gave the water and sewer, this board approved a water and sewer tap fee study. Paul came back with the initial numbers showing that we need to raise our sanitary sewer tap fee. We don't have the report in this packet, do we, Curtis?
We do not.
Yeah, because it came in its finality and approved too late to get it included. But we had the numbers to work through, and the Water Sewer Committee is recommending a rate raise to tap the Oxford Township sewer to $6,000 from $5,000 for per residential equivalent unit. So if there's any questions, we'd entertain them at this time. Yes, sir, Trustee Charles.
Well, this resolution says January 1, 2023.
Yes.
Is that enough time for a developer who wants to take care of things before this takes place? I mean, if someone's doing a development, they've got 100 houses and, you multiply that by an extra $1,000, I wonder if that's enough time.
We reached out to January 1st. We do have several out there. I'd entertain February, March, but,
Well,
we took a logical stab at January, but
Seems fair.
it is fair because those plans that are in our planning commission or have talked in preliminary site plan conversations with their engineer and stuff, they know this is coming.
okay.
I move that effective January 1, 2023, the sanitary sewer connection fee per residential equivalent unit will increase to $6,000, with the exception of the North Area Sanitary Sewer District Special Assessment District, which is established by a prior agreement for sewer connection fees. Any other proposed development within the sanitary sewer district that desires to prepay sanitary sewer connection fees prior to January 1, 2023 is permitted to do so at the current $5,000 connection fee rate.
Second.
Well, I heard that one.
Was John sleeping?
Motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Colvin. Entertain any questions? Seeing none, roll call.
Trustee Colvin?
Yes.
Trustee Payne?
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari?
Yes.
Trustee Charles?
Yes.
Trustee Noel?
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. And Supervisor Curtis?
Yes. Okay, item 10D, Building Department Purchase Request. Board members, we are moving our building department into the 21st century, and what you have in front of you tonight is a request for a quote from IT Right to purchase 4 Microsoft Surface Pro tablets, 4 of them, and 1 24-inch desktop monitor. These tablets will be used by our inspectors while they're out in the field. The devices will also have a wireless capabilities, so inspections can be updated into the BSA software system in real time. The purchase of these tablets will help reduce the amount of paper used for inspections and improve all overall efficiencies of the inspectors in the building department. The desktop monitor will be a second monitor for the administrative assistant to use. Each township employee has 2 monitors at their desk right now.
I move to approve the purchase of 4 Microsoft Surface Pro tablets, 4 cover keyboards, and 1 24-inch desktop monitor, the amount of $6,955, with the cost to be paid through the building department fund balance.
Second.
Well, I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Clerk Wright. Any questions? Seeing none, roll call.
Trustee Charles?
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. Supervisor Curtis?
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari?
Yes.
Trustee Noel?
Yes.
Trustee Payne?
Yes.
And Trustee Colvin?
Yes. Good. Let's see here, item 10E, the August 2nd, 2022 primary election certification. Clerk Wright?
Yeah, this is a common occurrence for every election that we certify the canvass of votes for each election. This canvass of votes that you see in front of you certifies the NOTA ballot language approval and also the vacant trustee position, which Trustee Colvin is running or has run unopposed on that. So with that, I'll move to approve the canvass of votes for the August 2nd, 2022 primary election for the Charter Township of Oxford as presented, and to include them as an attachment to the minutes.
Second.
A motion by Clerk Wright, a second by Treasurer Ferrari. Any questions? Seeing none, roll call.
Clerk Wright, yes. Treasurer Ferrari?
Yes.
Supervisor Curtis?
Yes.
Trustee Colvin?
Yes.
Trustee Noel?
Yes.
Trustee Charles?
Yes.
And Trustee Payne?
Yes.
10F, purchase of Verity Scan Voting Tabulator. Clerk Wright?
Yeah, this is the ability for the township to purchase extra equipment for elections through the Help America Vote Act for the 2022 security grant. And what it is each precinct is afforded $1,500, and we have 7 precincts, so we have upwards of $10,500 that we can expend monies for voting equipment. We've already signed on for some security cameras. And that was in the amount of $3,172.45, I believe. And in your packet is a request to purchase another Verity scan unit. And that amount is $5,545. These units are unique because Oakland County chose Hardiner Civic as the provider of election equipment. So even though this amount is over $5,000, which had to go to competitive bids, there's only one vendor that can supply this type of equipment. And with that, we're requesting approval on this. And also, just so you're aware, we plan to use this in the absent voter counting board. Well, we have upwards of 3 right now, but we just approved the certification of ballots, or the voting for the election in August. And in August, we had 5,503 ballots cast. Of those, there was 3,014 that were absentee, so you're looking at about a 55% absentee turnout. And we have 17,767 registered voters. And the way the election process is going, this isn't going to go away anytime soon. People are choosing to vote in their house, to send the ballots back, so it's increasing the absentee ballot initiative for people to vote versus going to the polls. So I just want to inform the board that this is what we're proposing. So if we get approved for this piece of equipment, we'll be ordering it. And what we do is we order it, we pay for it, and then we get reimbursed. So CJ Carnacchio, our grants manager, has been instrumental in getting the grant language, and I'll be working with him. And Deputy Clerk Susan McCullough has been instrumental in getting the quote for Hart InterCivic as well.
I move to approve the purchase of a Verity Scan voting tabulator from Hart InterCivic. The cost of the Verity Scan voting tabulator to be paid with Help America Vote Act election security grant funds. Expense to elections account 101-262-977.000 equipment acquisition.
Second.
Oh, you guys, I gotta get my stopwatch out. Motion by Treasurer Ferrari, second by Trustee Nold. Any questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Clerk Wright, yes. Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Supervisor Curtis.
Yes.
Trustee Charles.
Yes.
Trustee Payne.
Yes.
Trustee Colvin.
Yes.
And Trustee Nold.
Yes.
Okay, 10G, Supervisor Curtis is going to talk about paper usage. We watch our pennies, and what we've done here is, last year we spent $684 on paper in the township. Here it is August 12th, and we're up to $1,076. The cost of paper has gone down, but yet our expenditures have gone up. Now, we use a little more paper during election time, but we're reducing paper usage in the building department, and we're still increasing the amount of paper we're using based on cost. What I'm bringing this to our attention is we are watching our pennies, we are watching our packets that we print for people, we're watching our usage of paper. I know somebody that uses the back side of paper when its front side is done. These seem like pennies, but everything we watch turns into dollars. That's roughly $400 in paper cost. With the paper gone down, the usage has gone up. So we're going to watch what we print. We're going to watch what packets we print just to print them. We all have computers to use. They're all given with jump drives or emails, but I'd ask that we start watching what we're doing with our paper. Just like we did with the thermostats. It's cool in here right now. We spent about $1,200 on thermostats, and I control them on my phone. And at night, we send them down, we send it up to 75 degrees in the summer, and in the winter, we'll put them down to 65. What that does is it equates to about $3,000 in savings in just electric and gas usage throughout the month. So there's $3,500. One of the reasons I'm talking about this is because with our performance pay our performance evaluation and pay, any one of our employees that comes up with a cost savings advice, the department head should be referencing that in the performance evaluation so that it's taken note. We can't offer incentives to save, but we can offer rewards through pay for performance if we start saving money. I mean, all told, we got $3,500 just by watching our thermostats. Now we can save some paper usage by not printing. Notice you all didn't get a piece of paper and it wasn't in your package. It's up on the board. So I ask that if you have suggestions on not printing something, let's use them because we're starting an increase in paper expenditures. With that, we'll move on. If there's no questions. Item 11, items removed from consent agenda. We had none. Item 12, public comment. Are there any members of the public that want to make a comment? Seeing none. Board of Trustees comments. I'll start with Trustee Charles.
It's all downhill from there. One quick comment, if Catherine doesn't mind me mentioning the scarecrow thing, or you want to cover that?
No, you can go Scarecrow.
It's coming up soon, October 2nd, the Scarecrow Festival in Oxford, downtown, the DDA, one of our big events. Fire Chief Schultz is actively involved, as is Catherine and myself. So this year we're going to include a 5K run, as well as the other things that are going on. Some other things we got going on too, we're looking at another mural downtown. The first one was well received, and I think well done too, so that's something else we're looking at, is doing another one. We got approval for another one today, but the board, DDA board, has yet to approve it. But that's about it, and nothing new on Gypsy Moss unless Margie wants to talk about traveling into California. Nope? Okay, I'm all set.
Clerk Wright?
Yeah, I have a few things. Number one is Chamber of Commerce is holding a business expo next Thursday. It's September 22nd from 4 to 8. It's at Boulder Point, I believe. So if you're interested in seeing some of the businesses, I'm sure OCTV will be there and filming the festivities. A couple other things I want to mention is about elections. The first one is absent voter ballot applications. We send out voter ballot applications to absentee voters that have signed up to get a ballot. And what's been happening is we're getting a lot of these coming back from third-party organizations. That's causing us a lot more work, a lot more frustration on the voters' side of it, because they're filling it out, returning the application to us, then they're getting another one in the mail. They're not even sure if what was sent to them was correct or not. So I've called Representative Riley's office, and I talked to Michaela today, and I voiced my concern about this. I also put a call into Senator Bayer and to Senator Johnson's office, which they did not return the call. But what you're seeing is when these come back to us, we got to check in our system to see if in fact we've got one back from them, one of these applications. And then if we do get these and we don't have one back, these don't have a barcode scanner on them. We got to reproduce these and put them in by hand manually. So what I would hope is that the legislature in Michigan would take a look at this and come up with some way of saying, you know, let's eliminate the duplication. Let us clerks do our jobs as we were elected and appointed and hired to do, and try to make the process easier, because it's not getting any easier, because, as I mentioned earlier, you have more absentee ballots being voted on now than people going to the polls. So that's one of my concerns. So I'm trying to get a hold of people to say, you know what, this is something that needs to be looked at, because other than that, clerks across the state are going to be facing the same thing if they haven't already. My next thing is, on your November ballot, you're going to see 3 proposals, and one of those is called Promote the Vote. I believe it's proposal number 2, and within that, these are all proposals that will amend the state constitution. So if these are put in place, it's going to be very difficult to remove them. But within the Promote the Vote, it has 8 bullet point items that you're looking at to approve. And if you look down at those points of what you're going to be voting on, a lot of times it's voted on and then you deal with what happens afterwards, and you know where it's going to end up here is it's going to come back to the clerk's office, and that's okay. But it has to be looked at that we have to make adjustments in our schedules and our time for our other duties to do these things. For example, one of the points is that you're allowing 9 days of early in-person voting. So if you do that, who's gonna be manning the ballot boxes and other items that are required? We don't know. We've never been through this before, so I'm just pointing this out. If you actually go to the ballot, just be aware of what you're voting on. But just to back up too, with this application, I look at it and say, you know what? We don't send out 2 tax bills to people to see if they got it or not. You know, so I just think that, you know, this needs to be addressed, you know, for the benefit of all involved. So, other than that, that's my soapbox. I'm finished. Thank you.
I don't have anything.
Trustee Nold?
Thank you, but no thank you.
Trustee Payne?
Every few years I get requests for, are we talking about an ordinance for overgrown lawns and weeds and such in subdivisions, and I just thought I'd bring it up again, that maybe, I think it's maybe something we should look at for, you know, settled subdivisions. So,
Okay.
oh.
Trustee Colvin?
I just want to thank Ms. Stiles for coming in and talking to us about the OCTV. Appreciate that update, and Ms. Bush for introducing herself. So thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. I heard a question about the McLaren project. The McLaren project is a rejuvenation. It is not an acute care overnight stay hospital. One cannot be awarded without a certificate of need. I'll be in Lansing tomorrow addressing the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, and Emily, you said you may want to go to that. But this rejuvenation is taking a 40-plus year old building and building a new building, providing the services they're allowed to provide in a new building. They will tear down the other building. I met with McLaren last week. This $35 million project is going to be on the same site. They bought the 4 acres behind it. They're going to combine the properties and make it one, and this will be a new urgent care emergency department center, if you will. They will not have overnight stay because the certificate of need is required. So I hope that answers your question. McLaren has closed on Beaumont has closed on the 25 acres. They are owners of it, and my battle with Lansing tomorrow and next month continues to seek out the certificate of need for an acute hospital care. I learned today that we may start possibly using the jail trustees for township properties again. It will be coming out in a formal letter soon. So to the parks, to the fire department, to us cleaning up, if we've got projects, we can start thinking about that again. The third thing I have is many residents have asked for speed studies. Well, the Road Commission of Oakland County volunteered and did a speed study for us on Coates Road. And I am pleased to announce that what they've done is they've lowered the speed limit to 35, put the tracking devices up there to determine what the traffic is actually going, and I'm receiving more emails for the first time in 2 years that are positive than are negative from the people on Coates Road. It's a great program they've done. I don't know how long they will do it for or what their recommendation will be, but we do have a speed study going on Coates Road right now. Other than that, I look for item number 14.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
A motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Payne. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, hearing none. Good evening.